Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. This design was done using this script, which was originally developed by Loren Sherman back in 2011 and is the only fan-made script to ever show up on the TV show Doctor Who. And this script is quite flexible, meaning you can use the same letters and words to make a bunch of different looking designs. And this design says, from a non-linear, non-subjective viewpoint, it's more like a big ball of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. And I will show you letter by letter how this design actually says that using this script. So you read starting at the bottom and then going counterclockwise, which is why this gray line is here. And that is usually true for the sentences, so all the words inside the sentences are bottom counterclockwise, as well as the letters in the words. But this design is set up linearly. And if you imagine an infinitely large circle and you start at the bottom of that, you'd be going from the bottom and then counterclockwise, which would just be from the left to the right on an infinitely large circle that never curved up, which is why these are arranged like that, left to right. But the words are bottom counterclockwise, which means each letter is read starting at the bottom and then going counterclockwise. So this is the first letter of our first word. And it is a deep divot stem. It's this stem shape. Because the circle is partially completed, it's what I call a divot stem. And because it is more than 50% completed, like an omega or a horseshoe, it's in this top row. If it were 50% or less completed, like an arc or like a bite taken out of a cookie, it would be this stem. So we have this stem, and if we count the lines that end on that stem, there's this thick line, this thin line, and then this thick line. So 1, 2, 3 lines makes it an F. And then we continue to our next letter, and this is a shallow divot stem here. So we're in this row, and the modifiers are these 1, 2, 3 dots. So that makes it an R. And attached to the R, we have a little circle, and little circles are vowels. And vowels are read after the consonant that they're attached to. So this is attached to the R, and it's like a bead on a string. And if we follow that down, that makes it an O. So this is an R, O, and then we have our last letter here. It's a circle inside the word circle with 1, 2, 3 lines. So that makes it an M. So here's our first word, from. And this big old circle here, it's actually just the line modifiers coming from the word from. In fact, all of these big circles here are not part of the letters other than line modifiers or sentence circles. So you can crop this design quite narrow, like a banner picture, and it can still be fully read so long as we see the little words on the inside. So anyway, from, and here's our next word, and it's only got one letter. It's a little vowel outside the word circle, and that word is a. So from a, and then our next word here starts at the bottom. It's a circle inside the word circle with one line, so that's an N. And an O is attached to that like a bead on a string, just like the O and the R. And then we have another N with one line. So these line thicknesses do not matter, so long as we have the two N's and the O. So N-O-N, non. And our next word is here. Bottom's here. 1, 2, 3 dots on a circle inside the word circle is an L. And I has a line going towards the middle. These lines coming from the vowels are I lines and U lines. I lines radiate towards the center of the word. U lines radiate outwards. So this is an I because it goes towards the middle of the word circle, not outwards. So L-I, continuing around, here's an N with one line on it, just like these N's. E's are right on the line of the word circle. A outside. 3 dots on the R, just like that R, so linear. Here's another non, N-O-N, just like this non. This is a shallow divot, so we're in this row, and it has 1, 2, 3 lines. And it's okay that this line connects back up to the same letter stem. So long as 1, 2, 3 lines end on it, we get an S. And then we have the vowel line radiating outwards, making it a U. Continuing around, here's a deep divot, this stem, with no modifier, so that's a B. Then we have a circle inside the word circle with no modifier, so that's a J. And then inside the J, we have a little E, so S-U-B-J-E. And then we have a K, 2 dots on a circle inside the word circle. And then we have a T, shallow divot, and lines that pass through stems do not count. So because these lines don't end on that T, it stays a T with no modifiers. I, line going towards the middle. V with one line on a shallow divot. E hanging out right on the line of where that word circle would be, nestled inside that V. So subjektive. And subjective is spelled with a C normally, but this letter C here is special. You only use that in proper nouns or in acronyms. Otherwise, you swap it to the letter it sounds like. So since subjective goes k, use a K. So subjective. And then our next word here, V, one line, I, line going towards the middle, E on the line, W, shallow divot, 2 lines, here it is. P has 1, 2 lines, and again, these lines end on that P. If they were to have passed through, you would have seen that line behind it, but it ends here and it ends here, so that's 2 lines. O, like a bead on a string, I, line going towards the middle, N, 1 line, and T, and I'm kind of pushing the letter order with this N. It looks like it could be a T and then an N, but if we look closely, the center of this is actually closer to the outside of the word here, whereas this is centered here. So bottom counterclockwise, we would hit this before that. So subjective viewpoint, VIEWPOINT, point. And then we have a comma. I don't have punctuation on this page of the guide, but punctuation is on the sentence circles going around the outside of the designs. So there are 3 pieces of punctuation. There's this one, and wait, no, this isn't punctuation. This is from the word more. This is the more word circle. This would be the punctuation line. Anyway, period and a comma. Commas are filled in, periods are empty. So viewpoint, comma, and then we have I, line going towards the middle, and then we have a stacked stem. Because these 2 are concentric rings, like a double letter, it's 2 letter stems, but we have 2 different line thicknesses, so these are 2 different letters. So we read the thin one first and then the thick one. So this is a T, no modifiers, and this has the 1, 2, 3 lines on the S, so it's. And then the more, 1, 2, 3 lines in the M, O, R, shallow divot, 3 dots, E on the line, more. 1, 2, 3 dots on the L, just like this L. I, line going towards the middle of the word circle, 1, 2 dots on the K, E in the middle of that, so like. A, again, just the little A circle around this word circle, just like this, So more like a. Deep divot, no modifiers. I, line going towards the middle of the word. G is a deep divot with 1 line, so big. And then we have this deep divot with no modifiers. Even though this dot's kind of close to that one, it's a little bit closer to that one, plus there's 3 dots with that one making it a double L. So B, A, and then double L. Again, a double line is like a double letter, but these are the same thickness, so it's the same letter twice. So ball. O inside the word circle. F has 1, 2, 3 lines on a deep divot of. And then we have this shallow divot with 1, 2 lines ending on it, so that would be a W. And this 3rd line passes through and ends on the I, going towards the middle, so WI. Then we have a double B, just like this double L, except it's a double B. And then we have an L, 3 dots on a circle inside the word circle. Wait, no, this is the L here. WI, double B, L, Y, 2 dots on a circle on the line. So wibbly, WOBBLY, wibbly wobbly. Very similar words, even though they look quite different. And then we have bottom here. Our first letter is actually here. This N is a little bit higher than the center, so it's in the top quadrant or top half. So we can't read it first because it's not at the bottom, it's at the top. So we start at the bottom and then go counterclockwise until we hit our first letter, which is this T-I-M-E-Y, so timey. 1, 2 lines on the W-I, 1, 2, 3 on the M-E-Y with 2 dots. Oh, Y's are circles on the line of the word circle with 2 dots. So I sometimes erase the word circle behind it like I did here just to help it look a little bit bubblier and flowier with less interrupting lines. So I did that for that Y, and that Y, and that Y. So wibbly, wobbly, timey, wimey stuff. So 1, 2 on the W, I, line going towards the middle, M, 1, 2, 3 lines, E, Y, 2 dots. And then our last word here, this is the word circle, the outer circle, and there's lots of stacked letters here. Our first stack are these 2 letters here, these 2 shallow divots, and they're different sizes, so they're different letters. The thin one has 1, 2, 3 lines on it, making it the letter S. Then we have a letter T with no modifiers, it's that thicker one. A U, line going outwards, and then we have this double line, And these are the same thickness, so it's the same letter, and there's 1, 2, 3 lines, so that's a double F. And then here's the period. So yeah, one more time, it's from a non-linear, non-subjective viewpoint. It's more like a big ball of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. So yeah, that's that. I'm really happy with this design, and I think it makes some pretty cool artworks. I hope you like it. Bye.